A federal judge says the CDC overstepped when the agency imposed a nationwide eviction ban. It was put in place to help keep cash-strapped renters in their homes during the pandemic. The judge vacated the freeze. The moratorium was first enacted under former President Trump and later extended through June. It's unclear what will happen now. The judge ruled that the CDC exceeded its authority. There have already been several legal challenges, with courts being split in their rulings. A Facebook oversight board today upheld the suspension of former President Trump's account, but told the social media giant to define how long he'll be locked out. As Alice Barr reports, the decision is expected to have wide-ranging effects on policing political speech.
Former President Trump will not regain his Facebook megaphone, at least for now. The social media giant banned the then president the day after the January 6th deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Facebook's quasi-independent oversight board voting today that decision was justified.
The board has found that the suspension of former President Trump was necessary to keep people safe, that the actions of the former president encouraged and legitimized violence.
But the board also criticized Facebook, saying it could not ban the former president indefinitely.
Having an arbitrary penalty like that actually impedes and potentially affects freedom of expression rights for users around the world.
Facebook now has 6 months to decide whether to put a time limit on the former president's suspension, make the ban permanent, or let him come back while monitoring for violations. Former President Trump, who launched his own communications platform yesterday, today relying on email, accusing Facebook, Twitter, and Google of stripping his free speech and calling it, quote, a total disgrace and embarrassment to our country. Capitol Hill critics arguing the former president should not be allowed to amplify lies about a stolen election to millions of social media followers.
Just yesterday, President Trump is out there promoting the big lie, so he's still stoking violence.
The former president still dividing his own party as he, without office, without platform, but not without power, encourages retribution against those who oppose him. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Twitter and YouTube also banned President Trump and may look to today's decision for guidance. The bigger question is how it will guide policing of online posts by anyone in power. A soldier in the Wisconsin National Guard is facing charges for storming the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. The Justice Department says Abram Markovsky and a friend traveled to D.C. to attend then President Trump's rally, protesting the certification of the election. After the rally, investigators say they walked to the Capitol and spent about 40 minutes inside the building. According to court documents and Pentagon records, Markovsky is one of nearly 3 dozen current or former service members charged in connection with the attack. Meanwhile, the Justice Department may release video that the public has never seen of the Capitol riots. The department said it would be willing to make public unsealed video used as evidence in its criminal cases. The department is offering to put the videos on a site that media can access as early as next week. The judge may be the one who ultimately decides if the public will have access to those videos. Peloton admits it made a mistake earlier and it's now ready to issue a recall on its treadmills. We've got those details next.